Okay.
All right. And thank you for taking the time to do this.
Oh, my pleasure.
Yep. All right. We are live now. Welcome everybody to the Plant Power Woman Group, to the weekly Wednesday live stream. I am here with Diet Rebel success story, Pam. Let me know if you can hear us and you can see us. Pam, you can go ahead and wave. Let's
Oh, my pleasure.
put this on. All right, I'm going to say hi. Let me know if you can hear me and see me. There's usually a lag. Pam, say hi like this.
Hi.
Okay, wonderful, wonderful. So tonight we are going to be speaking with my Diet Rebel client, Pam. And this is what is so amazing about this story. And we do different kinds of health transformation stories every time I do one of these. Hi, Linda, nice to see you. Debbie, nice to meet you on the live stream. Tonight, we're going to be talking to Pam, who is one of the Diet Rebel group ladies, and she has just finished her 12 weeks, and she has lost 11 pounds in those 12 weeks. But not only that, and more importantly, she has overcome herself getting in the way, and also her autoimmune pain that she was really struggling with. And so sometimes on these live streams, we talk about high cholesterol, we talk about high blood pressure, we talk about pre-diabetes, all that kind of stuff. Pam, you didn't have any of that. What did you have?
I have Sjogren's syndrome, so that causes joint pain and muscle pain and dryness. And I had a lot of pain. I call it suicidal levels of pain.
Oh my gosh. So on a scale of 1 to 10, where were you living in that pain on a daily sort of basis before we were working together?
It was generally like a 6 to a 7, and worst days are 8 and 9.
Wow. Wow. And what kind of pain are you experiencing now, 12 weeks later? You're in your 13th week.
Yeah, very little. Just I just have a little bit of hip pain if I overdo it. Still maybe a little bit of knee pain or foot pain, right. But generally most of the time when I check in with my body, it's not hurting me.
So suicidal levels of pain are a thing of the past, basically.
I sure hope so.
Wow, what a relief. Yeah. What a relief. So so tell us how, tell us how you first went vegan. What was that like? I know you've been vegan for a long, long time. So let's start at the beginning. You went vegan, why and how? Okay,
so the quick story is 2011, I got interested. I started watching videos and reading books. 2013, I challenged myself to 30 days of vegan, and I did it and I liked it. So then we made our house 100% vegan, but we still flexed.
So your husband was
on board. So for the next 5 years, the house was totally vegan, but we still flexed when we went out. And then in 2018, we listened to an animal activist speech, and that turned the corner for us, and we became completely vegan. But we continued, we continued with, junk food, too much restaurant food, ice cream, snacking, vegan pizza. And I just continued to feel lousy and get heavier and be miserable.
Right. Okay, so you knew about the whole food plant-based diet, though. You've watched all these documentaries, you read all the books, you gave talks. So where was the disconnect in your mind or body or life?
Yeah. I think it was the emotional piece, that I needed the food to soothe myself. I needed to give in to my cravings to make myself feel better.
So did that turn out to be true? Like, how did we turn the corner about that?
No, that turned out to be completely wrong.
So how do you soothe yourself now? What do you do? What's the difference?
now I do it without food. So I meditate, I take a walk, I read. Yeah.
So we like broke that connection between emotions and needing comfort and food, because that's a big one. When it comes to emotional eating, I think that most women in this group of 9,500 women could relate to that. Let me know in the comments if you can relate to eating the vegan junk food, eating for comfort, or thinking, well, this is the last vice I have, so I might as well. There's nothing wrong with eating all this cake, but there really is something wrong with it. What's wrong with it? What is it doing?
Yeah, it didn't actually make me feel better, because it made me feel worse about myself, about, my physical pain was worse. So it didn't work at all.
It doesn't work at all. Nobody, we talk about this a lot in our Diet Rebel group meetings about how it actually doesn't work. And when we say that to ourselves, that it is going to work, that it's just a giant lie, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Nancy, nice to see that you're here. Nancy Jacobs is here. Gail, I see that you said me about the comfort food. Debbie Nicholson said, indeed. Okay, so you guys on the live stream, as Pam and I are talking, feel free to put any comments or questions that you have that you want me to ask Pam. You can go ahead and put them in the comments and I will make sure that I ask her. Nancy, if you have a specific question you want me to ask, let me know. Diane says she thought previously that vegan junk food was better than the standard American diet. Now I know better. Well, you will see lots of vegan attackers say, oh, that fake food is way worse than an actual real burger, but that's not true either. It's not true, because of the harm to the animal, because of the harm to your body from those animal proteins, that cholesterol, that fat, and because of the harm to the entire earth from the industries of those animals becoming food. So creates a lot more harm. So Diane, so true. Okay, so here's a question for you. So a lot of women, Gail says, I ate a lot of vegan junk food and I thought it was okay. Yeah, until you're 50 pounds overweight, right? Nancy says, what was the pain exactly? What kind of pain did you have and how long did it take for it to get better once we were working together? How long did that take?
Yeah. So my primary pain was joint pain, hips, knees, elbows, shoulders, fingers, ankles, feet. And I mean, it got better like within weeks, 2 or 3 weeks. I definitely started to see improvement. Once I got rid of the oil, which I know if I ate French fries, I could guarantee the next day my knees will be killing me.
Super inflammatory, those oils.
When that oil went, some of the pain went, and then the processed food as well, because that's just loaded with oil and other things.
Salt,
yeah,
sugar,
it
and
was
fat.
very quick. It was very quick. Now it's not 100% gone. I walked yesterday 30 minutes and today 30 minutes, and now I got a little bit of back pain today, but it's minor, and I think it's good that I went out and walked.
Maybe it lets you know you're getting stronger and you're being more active.
Well, I'm hoping, because I'm just getting started. So
yeah, because you weren't very active before because it hurt so bad.
Yeah, you just don't have any desire, energy.
So as you build strength, it hurts. Like even a regular person, first time at the yoga class, you're going to be sore AF later on. Okay, so some soreness is actually normal when you really start to move your body again. So Nancy, I hope that helps. Once she really got rid of the oil and the salt, sugar, fat, the processed vegan foods, it got a lot better in just a couple of weeks, a few weeks. Is that what you said? Yeah. So we have a health transformation tracker. I did a whole big live stream on, and every week we mark off, when do things get better? Because things get better. You will feel better. That's the moral of this whole story. So just to be clear for Nancy, you said like your hips hurt, like all your joints. So does that mean like to hold the glass of water hurt in your fingers? Or does that mean more like, lifting something up, you couldn't do it, or walking long would hurt? What is it
Yeah, I
exactly?
mean, yeah, the activity, yeah, I couldn't go out. I couldn't walk for a long time or anything if my hips were already killing me before I started.
Oh, okay. All right. Nancy, I hope that this helps. And you can reach out to Pam and you can message her on Facebook if you want to. She got your friend request, so you can message her. Okay. She'd love to talk to you. Right, Pam?
Right.
Okay. So here's the other aspect, the weight loss aspect, right? You lost 11 pounds, right? So a lot of people might think, and don't take this any kind of way, a lot of women in this group are serial dieters and weight losers and gainers. And so they might be like 11 pounds in 12 weeks. That is not very much. That seems so slow. How did you handle that aspect to yourself?
Well, I definitely had some of those thoughts, but then I had to challenge those thoughts that really losing almost a pound a week after week, is really good.
Yeah.
That's a really
Yeah.
big success.
Especially if you couldn't lose any weight before.
Right.
Why couldn't you lose weight before?
Because I was eating the wrong things at the wrong times.
Okay.
Too much eating.
Too much of eating all that food. And once you really came to work with me and you nailed down that whole food, plant-based, no oil way of eating, it's just worked for you that first week, right?
Yeah. The other thing was, if you remember, I had this obsessive thinking about being hungry when I went to bed at night. So I always ate like cereal at 9 o'clock at night. And that was a big thing that I had to get rid of. So now I have it in my head not to eat after 7.
We did have a big talk about that. Do you remember what I said? You remember what we ended up thinking?
Well, it rings in my head, might be something different than you're thinking of, but that my body needs to be empty when I go to sleep.
That was it.
Yeah. Right. And I have I mean, sometimes I feel hungry at, 9:30 at night, I might feel hungry, but then I just say that's how it's supposed to be. That's the right way. And you'll be asleep soon and you won't be thinking about this.
You'll be asleep even sooner than you think because it's the right way for your body to go to sleep. Yeah. So you really had to tell yourself these things over and over, and you probably still do. It's only been 13 weeks.
Yeah.
Okay. So this is, so what is one of the things that we did in the very beginning of this program that absolutely made it easy for you to stop the oil and get on the right foods? How did you know what to do?
Well, doing a kitchen clean out, learning about reading labels, which I already knew a little, but I wasn't really paying attention. And there was lots of things I was allowing. So I got much better at reading labels, and I spend time doing it. Mm-hmm. And I look, carefully. And then I don't bring the processed food into the house anymore. And the other huge thing is making that menu, knowing what the plan for the week is. And then, making the menu, going to the store, and then cooking the food and having it within arm's reach. And not having the processed food. There's no other option but to eat the food. And the food is delicious. It's delicious. It's delicious.
And Nancy says it's especially good if you can eat a lot of it, which we can.
Right.
Yeah. Pam says, curious about the autoimmune pain getting better. Pam, we did just talk about that. Did you have an additional question about it? You want to ask? Leah says, love that you need to be empty before bed. Yes, that is the right way. That is how the body puts its energy toward healing and away from digestion. If you have a big, full stomach, your body cannot do the healing and the resting that it needs to do because it's churning all that food. Okay, so that's why. Okay, Pam, you can go back to the beginning of this as soon as we are done here, and you can listen to Pam explain, two Pams. Pam in the comments, Pam, you explain how her autoimmune pain got better and what her autoimmune pain was. Okay, so I'm going to ask you a few questions. So, what was, and you might have said it already, what was the one thing that has made all the difference that you now know that you didn't know before Diet Rebel program? What's the one thing that made the most difference?
That eating the wrong food was not soothing me at all. It was making my life much worse.
Yeah.
Wasn't making anything better.
And telling yourself the truth about it, right?
Yeah, right.
Yeah. All right. What is the one piece of advice you would give somebody who is in desperate amounts of pain in any way about their health, desperate to turn their health around this plant-based way? What would be your number one piece of advice?
Well, I mean, everybody is starting to ask me this because they notice that I'm losing weight. And I just tell them it's three things. It's don't eat animals, don't eat oil, and don't eat processed food.
Right. But you got help for it, didn't you?
Well, you need help.
Sometimes you need help. There's many women who can do this on their own. I myself struggled through it on my own, but I made lots of mistakes. And so instead of taking 12 weeks like Pam did, took me a whole year to go through it and learn all these lessons about the oils and the fats. And I had to go through a whole big thing. It's a whole nother live stream. But, you know, if you want the fast track, you get an expert to show you exactly what you need to do, right? All right. What is the one most important piece of information you learned about adopting the whole food, plant-based, no oil lifestyle?
That I can do it. Like I can make these choices, stick to them. I'm not that weak that I have to give in. Right. That I have to give in to cravings or obsessive thoughts. That actually I can, you know, set goals and have a plan and stick to it and achieve it.
Those are huge realizations. That is huge. Debbie is asking you, do you have a menu you use for your week? Do you repeat your menu every week or month? How do you do it?
Well, I sit down on Sunday morning and figure out what do we want to eat this week. So, you know,
every week, a different one, right?
I mean, I'm still working my way through all of your recipes. So I just pick some, you know, favorites and some other favorites of the past. And then I pick something new of yours that we haven't had yet.
Yeah.
And, you know, breakfast and lunch kind of stay the same, but dinner is usually more interesting.
And you're a good cook. Your husband, it loves what you cook, which is great.
I like to cook, and you challenged me to cook every night instead of having these marathon batch sessions.
Yeah.
And I think that's actually probably really helped my pain too, because I used to go into the kitchen in like 3 hours on my feet, and then I needed the next day off. Now I don't do that. Like every day I just cook dinner.
You know what? I'm not a batch prepper. Some women love to do it. Some women have to do it because of work. I do not enjoy it at all. And so we have a cooking club, the Plant Power Preppers Club. Do you think we cook 3 things? Heck no, we do not. That's how that goes. Let's see what everybody's saying. Linda is saying, I couldn't do it without help either. Linda is in the Wednesday group and you were in the Thursday Diet Rebel group. Okay. Debbie, I hope that helps. Okay. What's the one most surprising thing you've learned about yourself since starting this journey 12 weeks ago?
My mood greatly improved. I was pretty miserable. I'd say, you know, depressed, sad, lonely, and I'm much happier now.
You were also, yeah, you were also bored. It was boring.
Yeah,
it was boring.
Yeah, right. Yeah. I mean, I'm ready. now that I feel better and I have a system and a plan, I'm getting ready to go out of the house.
Yeah.
I'm getting ready to volunteer somewhere and go out of the house.
So that's the whole point of this whole food plant-based transformation, health transformation, is so that you can then channel your energy and your love into how you want your life to be. And this whole preoccupation with health and food and all this other crap can be over here while you are living a life that you love. And that life that you love includes taking care of yourself in this way. So that's the ultimate goal, is to go out and live your life. So when you said, I'm ready to go out and volunteer, I'm ready to go out and do this and do that, I was like, you go, girl, you go. Debbie says, is there anything you love in the menu? What's the rule? What's the rule of me making menus? What's the rule?
Exactly. And I'll tell you, I'm on Facebook groups for like McDougal, right? Starch Solution.
Yeah.
And just tonight, I'm looking at they put up their food. It's a plate of plain potatoes and a plate of plain broccoli. And I thought, that is no way to live. Like that you're going to burn out on that, and you're going to give up on that.
Yeah.
Your food it's delicious, and it's not that complicated or difficult,
right.
And it's just like, you got to make it delicious. That's one of your rules. And that is a huge part of it.
That is one of the rules. That's one of the rules. If it's not delicious, if you don't love it, don't put it on the menu just because you think it's the right, just because you think Chef AJ has boiled kale for breakfast. Don't put that on your menu and think that's going to be good for you, unless you love that. If you love it, okay. But if you don't love it, like I do not love that, don't put it on your menu. Very good. I hope that helps, Debbie. Okay, so here's another one. What is the one thought that prompted you to plunk down your money for coaching in this Diet Rebel group program? It's not cheap. What was the one thought that made you do it?
That I don't want to live this way anymore. Being, fat, sick, and barely functioning.
Barely functioning. That's so hard. What made you think that you would be successful in this program? What did you see or hear that made you think that that I would be able to help you?
Well, as with most decisions, it takes me a while to get there. So
I remember.
I discovered you, I don't even know how long ago, a year ago, 2 years ago, something like that. So I've been following, you on Facebook and stuff. And then we did have there was one point where I reached out and we had a little dialogue, but I wasn't ready. And then I had an experience in the Galapagos Island with a bathing suit and a wetsuit.
With a wetsuit.
And I
with a wetsuit.
Right. That was my breaking point. And I was like, I need help. And I think Naomi's the person for me. And so I reached back out to you.
Yes.
And it was true. It worked out.
And you were ready to do the work. You have to be ready to make these changes and not have any more excuses or lies to yourself. You have to be ready.
Right. But the program also had everything. It had what I needed, which is you're a positive influence and a coach who, puts your feet to the fire and pushes you, which I needed. And then the accountability and, going through the lessons and having to report and post and be accountable to actually do it. And then the third thing is having the support of other women who are going through it and who you get to learn from them and hear from their experiences. And it gives you aha moments. And like, those are the pieces that I knew I needed and that your program had. Yeah,
you really did. So, okay. So talking about those aha moments, you, on your week 12 in the group, you wrote out this giant list of all of your aha moments. Can you look back over that list and tell us a few of them? Some that you starred, or what do you?
Right. Well, I mean, the very first one was one of the first things you said to me which was believe the research that I could be better physically. And then I had to have hope, which I didn't have very much of at all, but you provided some hope for me when I didn't. I had to believe that my body can heal. The human body can heal. So, and then I knew a lot of things because I had been vegan and I had read a lot and watched all the movies, but it's not about the knowing, it's about the doing.
The doing. I started that one too.
It didn't matter what the hell I knew. I wasn't doing anything.
A lot of you ladies in this group, you know a lot. You've read all the books, you're all blah, 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 whole food, plant-based diet, but you don't do it. You don't show it, you don't do it. So that's what Pam's saying. She did it.
Right.
What
so
else?
I got a new mantra, which is that I eat like I give a shit about myself, about the way I feel, about my future. And so, yeah. And then I
love that.
I realized it's a self-care issue. That's what this is. It's not a food issue. This is a self-care issue.
So learning how to take care of yourself in a way that fulfills you. And when you feel fulfilled, it separates the need to eat for comfort.
Yeah.
All right.
And then I came out of it with my nice little short sentence. If anybody wants to know what I'm doing, it's just, I feel better when I eat this way.
Yeah. I feel a lot better when I eat this way.
It's that simple.
Aw. All right. Let me see what everybody is saying. Christina says, if you don't love it, don't put it on your menu. Brilliant. I know, it's such an aha moment that people just don't even realize that. Okay, Maeve is asking about the Plant Power Preppers Cooking Club. Gail, my green goddess, Gail, my helper, she will send you that in your Facebook Messenger. That's wonderful. Linda says she's doing it. Linda Hoda is doing it. She definitely is. We're going to have her on this live stream one of these days. Aren't we, Linda? Aren't we? Okay. So Pam, I want to thank you for sharing your story with this group of ladies, because mostly what I want them to know and what I heard you say is the most powerful thing, which is to have hope and that your body can heal, right? That is seriously the most important thing that I really, that I just really want to say to everybody on the live stream. So if anybody is watching on the replay or anybody has any more questions, you can go ahead and put them in the comments. We will answer them after the fact. Pam, is there anything you'd like to leave the group with?
Just that it's worth it and we're worth it.
It's worth it and we're worth it. That's so true. That's so true. Okay, everybody. That's it for the weekly Wednesday live stream. Pam, stay right there. And I will see you all in the group. Thank you to Pam. Everybody, thank Pam and congratulate her on her success. Bye.